Hello everyone and welcome. We are here, we are live, we are ready to go. And right here what I have is the first module of my Kerbin Station, still with its little carrier attached to it. And you can see we're starting off pretty simple. And this I put up at the conclusion of last episode, and maybe as a means of introduction as well. I'm calling this my hardcore series. This is because I'm playing this on hard mode, and then I went a further step by making the science down to its normal 60% for hard mode and put it down to 30% to kind of, for whatever reason, slow down my progression. Don't know why I did that, but anyway, this little station here is here to satisfy this contract: build a new orbital station around Kerbin. And you can see a lot of this is all checked off, except for the fact that it have a facility supporting at least 5 Kerbals. And, well, right now it's only 4 Kerbals. There's no Kerbals here, but it can support 4 Kerbals because that's how many people will fit aboard the Hitchhiker can. And my plan is, right as soon as we leave this, to build myself an orbiter and get it up here. Now, some people were pointing out about this whole, like, station must be fully assembled when launched, and they're saying it's not going to work now unless you make an orbiter that holds 5 people, which I'm not going to do. But I'm pretty sure, though I don't really feel like jinxing it because I have been wrong on things before, but I'm pretty sure if I bring up an orbiter that just puts this over 5 and the orbiter just needs to have, that means 1 more seat, that this will satisfy. We're going to find out though. So why don't we leave this, get ourselves back to the Space Center, and we'll get started with the orbiter build. Hello Alex and welcome. And that won't take the whole stream, and I'm thinking once the orbiter is built and I got myself a couple of Kerbals up there, what I think I'm going to do next is build myself a relay network. Because I'm playing on hard mode, a number of the ground stations aren't there, and you don't have 100% coverage as you go around in orbit. And actually that kind of reared itself as I was putting that station up, which was my first uncrewed launch. There was a little bit of a period of time where we didn't have a connection, and I managed to get a stable orbit in the end, but yeah, it might be nice to put up some relays, so I think I'm going to do that next, or after the orbiter. But right now, let's get in here, build ourselves an orbiter. And because I've been using pretty much nothing but these little roundy capsules so far, and I do have the 3 crewed pomegranate capsule, I think instead I'm going to use a different capsule that comes from the Making History DLC. I'm going to use the Mark II command pod. I love this one. This one's a 2 crewed version of the Mark I pod. I guess sort of modeled after the, I'm going to take the flag off, after the Gemini capsule, but it is a nice 1.875 meter pod. It can hold 2 Kerbals, so yeah, we're going to build ourselves a little orbiter built around this guy, and we're going to dock it. So up at the top, obviously, we're going to need to put a docking port. So the only docking ports I have are the Junior, like that. And we're going to have to put on some thermal protection, aren't we? I don't have, oh, this might change this because this has no built-in ablator. My biggest heat shield is 1.25 meters. Okay, let's check to see where is that 1.875 meter heat shield on the... I'm a little annoyed that I got that capsule without getting the... Oh, might have to go to the pomegranate. Let's see. So, heat shield. We'll do a little search here. I guess it's right here, isn't it? There it is, right there. And that costs 90 science. I only have 6.4. Okay, so... Okay, that has to be put on hold. Well, poop. Okay. Then I guess we'll abandon this idea. And we'll go with the... Let's get the 3 crewed pomegranate going then. Oops. You know, I do have just... Let's see if there's an old one maybe that I can modify now that I'm not doing that. So, all my Kerbin orbiters start with the KER, and then CO stands for crewed orbiter, and then the number after that is a 2 crewed. So I do have this guy. This is the Bob Ross. But it doesn't have... Oh, and it's pretty. Yeah, no, we're not going to go. Let's see if we can build something better. We'll go new. So I am going to go to the pomegranate. So pomegranate here, and I guess... I'm hoping this is enough parachute. It feels like it might be a little... Because that parachute, the Mark 16 parachute, was originally designed to go on the Mark 1, which is only 0.76 tons plus passenger mass. This is almost 2 tons plus... I think I should put on more parachutes. I think I need to put on more parachutes. Oh wait, I need to put a docking port on there anyway. What am I even thinking? So, yeah. Put docking port on there and parachutes. I do have the radial ones, so I guess they'll go in here. I never liked the looks of these. They always just don't look right. But I guess that's what we'll go for. Even that docking port, you can see the... If I raised it a little bit, you can see the sort of nub. We'll do that. There we go. And this is, right, a 1. Oh, it's 1.25 down here. So we'll do this. We'll put this guy in there. We might just rotate that there. And we'll stick in an octo probe core. And that's just so that if it goes up uncrewed, it will, or sorry, not uncrewed. I could fly it uncrewed, but also if I don't have to have a pilot now, I can fly it without a pilot if I so desired, if that situation comes up. So what I want to do is do something, I want to keep it pretty simple. What if, I want to build something with maybe about 1200 meters per second in it of DV, and a thrust to weight maybe around 1-ish. Okay, this is being very... There, it's because staging's weird. Okay, oh, it has to be a little bigger than this already. I don't have a lot of small fuel tanks. What if... Let's try and make something that's at least a little bit attractive. Interior under that. Yeah, that's going to be my best choice for engine. That's 1304. Stick in some extra electricity. Oh, we should stick in some reaction wheels because there are no reaction wheels up in that. So we'll just slide those under there. A little bit of electricity. Might just come around, go 4-way symmetry. Just to kind of, yeah. And some solar panels. And me thinking to put the solar panels in there as well. Let's go with 2-way symmetry. And we'll try... like this, and then maybe out a bit, so the batteries will be behind it. For those that don't know, this is one of the most hidden features and most useful features in KSB. I'm running out of translation room. If you simply hold the shift key, you can always translate as far as you can. Maybe down a little bit. As long as those doors will close, I don't think they will. Okay. What if I rotated it? Just so that the batteries aren't clipping. That works. And the same deal on the other side. think that works for me. A little bit more outwards on that one. I hate when you... There. So it looks like they're flush. As long as the door is closed, I'm happy. I think so. Jeepers, I think that's getting pretty close to being about it. Have you added any RCS? No, I have not. Yes, of course, I have to put RCS in here. Okay, this is definitely because it's going to need the dock. So, I do have my only RCS containers, I am pretty sure, are those Roundify, whatever you call them. Here, you can go by resources here. Where's monopropellant? That one. So the only ones I got are these. And that's going to be a lot. I think I'm going to stick them on the side of this. That's more monopropellant than I'm ever going to need, but... Oh, we'll do that for now. And then... get some... reaction control thrusters, and... I have both the bigger ones and the smaller ones. I am much bigger fan of the smaller ones on a craft like this because you don't need that much thrust and they use a heck of a lot less reaction mass. Less monopropellant. So we'll go with that. Are they pretty straight? Get a little higher. Get a little higher than that. Looks pretty good. Now I do have, yes, I do have RCS Build Aid, so that's going to help me out with getting the torque on this. So if we, here, I'll turn it off for now. I don't need it, but I need another 4. I guess I might just stick something between there. What do I have for structural stuff? Do I have those docking tubes? Or not the dock, structural tubes. These guys. Is this the really big one, or is this the appropriate size for me? There it is. I was just to get a surface on there, and I think that's as narrow as they go, unfortunately. I might take that off, because I'm not sure I like it. But anyway, getting back to RCS Build Aid. If we look here, you can see here it's set to be translation to the right, and that there's a little bit of torque, 0.062 kilonewtons of torque, and you have 2 ways to adjust that. One, you can adjust the thrust limiter, either on one of the sets, but the easier thing to do, if you have the room, is simple. I think I got to move these upwards. Oh shoot! Just went inside. I don't like that. Upwards like that. Now actually what I should do is take out most of the fuel because it will be mostly empty when it gets up there. Okay, now back to this and that. Alright, where's my torque? 0.01706. Whoa, 0 kilonewton meters right on there, and then we'll pull them out a bit. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. Though the reaction wheels are pretty solid in this game, so that it doesn't really make a huge difference. There we go. Okay, get rid of that. That. Yeah, I think I'll keep that. Oh yeah, blinky lights for sure. Must have blinky lights. Just sort of playing with different modes here. And how about these guys? Can we tuck them in a little bit cleaner? I think so. Alright. I think that's the basic gist of it, other than the lights. I don't think I'm missing anything else. I don't think so. Yeah, so let's put on some lights. I'm not a fan of these big... I'm honestly considering just taking out half the monopropellant right now, just to save a little bit of weight. So don't need that much. Typically for something like this, a little orbiter, if I were using that Mark II can that has the built-in monopropellant, I wouldn't even add any additional monopropellant. But this thing has no monopropellant in it, so I'm gonna go with that. That's not bad looking. All right, lights. So I do now have those navigation lights. Where are they? Here we go. We're going to put some colored lights on this guy. I'm also going to stick on two-way symmetry. I'm also going to bring up some extra lights because I forgot to put lights onto the station in general. So I'm not a big fan of that. So we'll bring up some lights and we'll bring up an engineer and we'll make sure to sort of add I guess that'll have to do. Alright, so we'll get in here, and these, I'll make this one red, and we'll make it blink. Might play around with the colors in just a little bit, and then we'll take this one and remove the symmetry, and then this one will become green while the other one will still stay red. Need some blinky lights down this way. These ones will blink at half a second intervals. They'll be white, put the blink on. And I'm on two-way symmetry, so there's one on the other side. And then those guys will just do some repeating. Again, I will probably end up changing some colors, or like the actual color of the shell. And then this is the dorsal or upside of the craft. So just to mark it as such, I'm going to take one of these, remove the symmetry, turn it to yellow, and have it blink on a 1 second interval, like so. And somebody got me in the habit of putting a blue light by the hatch, so I'll do that too. And we'll make that one blink. Alright. And do I need to... What's it look like inside here? I think... Let's stick in... I don't know how visible these will be, but they might light up this inside a bit. 4 of these dome lights. Here we go. Is it me or they? Oh no, that's centered. I don't know how that'll work. Okay. And as far as this here, let's save this. This is going to be for now just the KER Crude Orbiter 3-01. Really boring name for now. We'll come up with a good name in just a little bit. But I want to save it. And I want to switch over and just take a look at my space station just really quick. Because the only lights I think I put on it, yeah, I threw a couple of dome lights in there and that's it. So where would we like to put on some extra lights? We're going to dock here. Yeah, let's put some spots on it. So we'll put some spots around here to kind of light up where we docked here. Probably some spots on this side. So we'll bring up a lot of these little spotlight. Oh wait, maybe. Or these big illuminators. Let's just bring up a bunch of these little spotlights. Alright. Cancel. Switch back. Bring up KER 03U. Okay, and do we have cargo space? We should have some cargo space. Okay, we don't need... In fact, let's just get the crew out for now. Make decisions about... Actually, keep... I don't know. We'll make a decision later. Do I have cargo space? So, no. Okay, cargo containers. Oh my gosh, I'm quickly running out of room on this thing. What about these guys? Is there a place I can... those ones, and I also have these ones. What I might do, keep that on two-way symmetry. This is a hollow tube, so I'm 100% justified, I think, in clipping stuff in there. I think you're 100% justified in doing clipping anyway. So those are like, now I feel a little bit better about having, those are like little storage containers. I like that. Sure. And now I got room to put some lights. So we'll put in one of these, two of these, three of these. Can I put one on more? Yeah. Put up 8 of those lights. And maybe a couple of these Mark II illuminators for those. Oh, that's going to pretty much fill this up. Okay. What did that do? It didn't hurt my DV too much. Okay. Alright. Can monoprop containers go inside here? Actually, I think that's entirely justified too. The thing is, I don't like hiding away fuel tanks too much because you'll end up finding yourself in a situation where you gotta move the fuel around, and then I'll keep them where they are. They're a little tucked out of the way. It's a good idea. Yeah, I could hide them inside here, but then I'd have trouble finding them and right-clicking on them, like if I ever wanted to move monoprop around. Alright, here comes the question. Do I want to color this? First of all, I kind of don't mind the sort of... I might just do this a little bit. So let's go into Bob Ross mode and open this up. But I'm thinking of just... like if I take that green, I think I can just make it the same stock white color. There it is. Just to kind of blend into the rest of this a little bit. And maybe take that red, make it like a darker gray. Like it still sort of looks like a stock craft, if you know what I mean, but it's not. There. Just to get it kind of feeling a little more natural up there. And how about these lights? Do I have much in the way of colorizing on those? Uh-oh, I don't think... Nope, I don't have other color modes. Oh, there's the white mode. Okay, maybe we'll just do that. There. There. Just sort of keep it kind of stockish. Now this I can't colorize, so we're going to use, right, Bob Ross mode on these and kind of blend those in a little bit. So the red will again make that stock white color. I'm not sure what's green on those. Something's green. Oh, they're on the side I can't see. Okay, so that doesn't matter. So we'll go with the blue. What color can we make those doors? Like a black. I like. Okay. Going through the various variants on that. Red can be that. I love the fact that you can actually like color like right into all the little and the plumbing bits and all that kind of stuff. So on the bell here, the plumbing is, I want to kind of, what color? Let's make it like a bronze metallic. And then on the bell itself, I want it to sort of maybe kind of look stockish. I'll go with that. That doesn't look terrible. Because the rest of it's mostly stock colors. Hey, Oliver, glad you can make it. I think that's servicing us. So this is our basic orbiter here. Come up with a name later. I think so. So this is all good. Yeah, so what we have to do now is get this fella into orbit. And I'm probably still going to send up only 2 crew. Definitely one of them needs to be an engineer. I have so many engineers. So Fuzzy One, you are going to be our engineer here. Actually, you know what? I don't think I've had Gek do anything since he got rescued. So Gek Kerman. And I only have 2 pilots. God, I have so many okay, forget it. I'm sending up 2 engineers and calling it a day. There's no reason for a scientist up there. I only have 2 pilots. I don't want to use one of my pilots for this. That's why I put the probe core in there. Okay, we're going to build the rest of this now. So we need the TD-12 decoupler. Oh, we have the fairing to do. Okay. That fairing red, that will be the stock white color again. That looks good. I'm gonna leave it at that. Yep. And I think I do need to put a fairing around this. I do have now the 1.875 meter fairing. Just like so. And I do have some 1.875 meter parts. I think. Yes, this is my biggest tank here. You know, it's funny. I put up the engine or the station with this short, stumpy kind of rocket, and I kind of wish that I forgot I had the 1.875 meter parts. So I kind of wish I did do it with these parts. Okay, so that gives me a total delta V of about almost 3,800 meters per second. Ample launch thrust. I'm really kind of, this might be close to it just right here. Do I have a better choice for engine? I don't know. I think the engine choice is good, right? I don't think something like a swivel. I don't think the swivel will be enough. No, it's definitely not. Back onto the Bobcat. It doesn't hurt to have a little bit more fuel. Just means the orbiter gets up there with a bit more fuel. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah, that looks good. And again, still enough thrust at launch, definitely. Some tail fins on at the bottom. Might want, I don't know if I need reaction wheels or not. I think these are gimbaled. They are. Just playing with the textures now. What if... No, I don't want to spend all that time painting that engine. It's too much. Too much. Okay. Anyway. Oh, that's the it's all shiny mode. Let's not do the... just go with that. Why is it not letting me just grab this with... Oh, because I'm not on the move tool. Go, some launch clamps. Boom there, boom there, boom, 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 boom. Okay. Adjusting launch TWR. That should do her. So people have good names to suggest for this thing. I guess its predecessor was the Bob Ross. I don't know if that should factor into it or not. We've already also had an Artemis, so something a little different than all those. Oh, this should get, sorry, just thinking of things, 3 sides at least. Up the ejection force, put it on clamshell deploy. We'll also get into our action groups here for the gear action group. I'm going to deploy that fairing. And then we're going to take it out of the staging diagram. So it'll be staged with the action group. And honestly, what I think I might also do is attach... Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to do that. Where's action groups? There we go. Is attach that to the light action group, so when I toggle on the lights, that opens up as well. Yeah, I'm kind of into being asked about here why you might change. There's 2 motors here, and you can adjust the gimbaling on them independently. And I'm being asked, are there any good reasons you would set the left and the right to different values? And nothing's coming to my brain. Like, really? So I'm kind of curious why they even chose that you can set that up so you can do that. Right, I think we're good. We got our 2 people aboard. Yep. They have their... Yep. Okay. So I'm thinking of doing it. Yeah, if somehow but if the center of weight was off, you'd want to adjust the thrusts independently. But you can't adjust the thrust independently. You can only adjust the gimbaling independently. It's weird. Center of weight, center of mass, same difference. I wouldn't get worried about that kind of stuff. Okay, so we're on our way to the station. So let's find our station. Oh, it's just about overhead. Like, isn't that lovely? Couldn't have timed that better. Throttle up. Let it get a little bit ahead of us. And hopefully this will go well on the first go. Remember, when hard mode, you can't quick save. You can't revert to launch. So if something goes wrong, well, we got lots of engineers. Okay, so I'm just time warping just a little. I don't know why I got in the habit of launching right when the target here gets to the end of the little bird icon. The station is in a 120 by 120 orbit, so we're going to go to an 80 by 80 orbit and park underneath it. Like, get into a parking orbit below it and then make our way up. Lots of attitude control. However, no lock to prograde. Because I only have the Octo Probe Core and I do not have a pilot board. So that's just what that is. I don't trust the aerodynamics of this enough to take the SAS off and just let it fly up passively, which you can do if you have a well-balanced ship. I'm not convinced this is that. I'm pitching over a little too aggressively. I'm going to kind of ease off a bit. Oh, I know something I forgot to do. Talk about it once we're in orbit. Start reducing throttle here a little bit. Try and keep that apoapsis close by. Really miss not having locked the prograde though, I tell ya. Of course, because of our engineers aboard, we get all of this Kerbal engineer data coming at us. None of which I'm using right now. I'm only looking down here. Got my time to apoapsis, just trying to keep that relatively constant. Okay, we're going to be losing this lower booster, but before we do that, what I think I'll do is lose the fairing. Oh, it would have been... Oh, that wasn't an option, actually, now that I'm looking at it. That thing wouldn't have... the fairing enclosed this entire orbiter. So I had to lose the fairing before. Or else we would have been crashing into our own fairing. That was not an option. Kind of cute. I like it. Just needs a name. Okay, again, we do have a contract to build a new orbital station. And hopefully this will cause it all to be satisfied. Oh, you know what may... Oh dear, I just realized something. We'll find out. What may mess up this contract is that I don't have an antenna aboard this guy. But we'll find out. Even though there is an antenna on the station. It's a peanut orbiter, yeah. I'm going to go a little past 80 because we're still... Whoop, that was us. That's the game thinking we are in an orbit. We're not quite there. I just cut it because we... Here, I'm going to give us a little thrust. Get a little past 80 because we... A lot of this trajectory is in the atmosphere right now. But we're not in the atmosphere. Whoa, 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 whoa. Take that off. Try again. Again, just a little bit of thrust. There. Get that over 80. That should be good now. In fact, I should be able to put the lights on. Okay, we're in space. We almost have an orbit, but not quite. Now here's an interesting thing. See what I was talking about with communication? I've lost communication, but I still have control because there's a Kerbal aboard, even though that Kerbal is not a pilot. So I find that interesting, that if you have a non-pilot, the probe, it doesn't matter if you lose the signal or not. I'm not sure if that's intentional or just the way it worked out. So if I lose signal, it doesn't matter, is what I'm saying. Okay, our periapsis is at 28 kilometers, so this is going to be like very little to get in orbit. Okay. Beautiful. And then we'll just turn this. One thing about when you tuck the solar panels in here like this is you do have to make sure you roll this so that the panels are pointing. It's easy to get yourself messed up. Okay, let's get ourselves to the station. Oh, it's already set as a target, so what's our relative? Only a 0.2 degree difference in our inclinations. Oops. Oh, I saw 0.9. Let's get down to just a second. Jumping around a little bit, so I'm just going to give it a little bit more prograde. Hopefully that'll help it settle down and decide which intersect it likes. Okay, we got a 700 meter separation. I think that's going to do us. Burns come up in 7 minutes. Now here's the thing that I forgot, is I like to take these RCS blocks and turn on the actuation toggles and then disable the yaw, pitch, and the roll, because I don't need RCS to do yaw, pitching, and rolling. The reaction wheels are perfectly fine for that. I do need RCS to go laterally, port, starboard, dorsal, ventral, and forward and aft. So unfortunately, if I did this in the VAB, it respects the symmetry, but if you're doing it out here, it does not. So I actually have to go around and do this for all 8 of these reaction blocks. But this saves you a ton of monopropellant, just doing this. So it doesn't burn monopropellant as you're adjusting your attitude. Fortunately, I'll have to go back to the VAB after all this and fix the one that I have saved. All right. Yeah, I guess that's it. And John saying he guesses that the basic idea is that all Kerbals have some basic piloting skills. The way I like to think about it is just, yeah, the probe body puts in additional automating on board the craft so that a non-pilot can do certain things. I'm going to turn the thrust limiter right down. There. Yeah, you can sort of see these dome lights are doing some stuff down there. Okay. Let's do this at half throttle. I can really hopefully fine-tune this a little. And then when you get really low, what you can do is take this off, put on RCS, and just push the H key. Oh, that makes it worse. N key. Wow, that's a real blast. Just sort of tweak this encounter distance. It's about 680 meters per second. That's very much a blast that must be coming in from Waterfall. I don't think it changes the thrust, but it certainly looks a lot more About 2 minutes away. Should be up there. Again, if you don't see the little... That always seems to like to turn itself off. It's very annoying. But it's F4 that puts that on. One of my more common YouTube questions is, why am I not seeing this little waypoint thingy? Lowered the closest approach to about 100 meters, so we'll let ourselves get a little closer now. And this is going to be our first docking of this series, so bit of a momentous occasion. We should see some milestones popping up there for us. Geck and Fuzzy One, you guys are doing, guys and girls, doing a great job. We don't need no pilots. Start slowing down. That station is coming up quick. And I can see where my docking port is. It's on this side facing away from us. And I guess that's to, oh gosh, northwards this way? Yeah. Want to move a little bit to the north of the station. Maybe a little more. Coming in kind of quick here. Okay, slow down. Slow down, you hot dogs. Okay. Control from this docking port and see if I can click on this docking port. And set that as a target. Goody good. I know a lot of people like to go aboard this and point that at this docking port and have the two docking ports pointed towards each other, which of course does make things easier, but what fun is that really? That's no fun. Now, do I have that docking alignment indicator mod ward? I do not. I'm pretty sure I set this so that it's pointing due south, though, so that might help. RCS on. I'm thrusting the wrong way. That way, 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 that way. Oh, wow, that's a lot of... There we go. I think it should all be lined up. It looks like it is. And... boink. There we go. Yeah. I took the station and I oriented it north-south, which makes it easier. All I had to do is line up the ship on the south icon. Okay, so we're going to take this. We're going to shut down that engine. And the contract went green. Yeah, I told ya. No worries. Contract went green because, you know, between all of this put together, it meets the requirements of the contract. Which I know confuses people because it says here the station must be fully assembled when launched, but only these components mentioned up here, the docking port, generating power, and have an antenna, needs to be all together. It's kind of very unclear. I'm going to see if I can steal ton of this fuel. And then maybe get rid of this little guy down here. I think this is the only fuel tank. Oh, perfect. And then we got a little bit of fuel to deorbit that. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is just get rid of this right now. So undock. Am I on this? I guess I am. Yep. And we'll point this retrograde. We'll just get rid of this little fella. It was just there looking ugly anyway. Okay, so that's going to deorbit. Get back to our station. Okay. Now, I did talk about contracts done, so we can get rid of that. We must have some milestones, right? What are our milestones? We have started constructing of our first station, and we have performed our first docking maneuver. We will transfer our crew. We should be able to just do this way, right? Transfer Gek. And transfer Fuzzy One. So they are now nicely aboard in here. Nice, comfortable seating. Okay, now I did talk about putting some lights on, some additional lights on this guy. So let's see here. I guess it doesn't matter which engineer I choose, does it? Let's see if we can do this. So up here, we should have, I tucked them, oh yeah, they're off to the side here somewhere. Isn't it cargo? Yeah. Now, can I fit? Oh, shoot. Let's get rid of the parachute. This is the pomegranate. Let's put the parachute in here. Now, can we grab some of these lights? Oh, we can grab a few of these lights. Look at that. Down. And what I'm thinking about is like right, oh, let's take the snap off right about there. Oh, looks like that's on. Okay, can I turn this on? I can. And you can also adjust the pitch angle. See, so it shines upwards on there. I like it. Let's do that again. Another one here. Oh, for whatever reason, that one's being awkward. Okay, put it back. Oh, I know why, because I was playing with the Kerbal. I was pressing the WASD keys. And again, turn that one on. Just pitch. Watch out for those antennas. We'll put a couple on this side too. They keep tilting down to do the laser thing, and then for whatever reason it doesn't happen. I don't think I'm putting them very equally spaced around here, but I don't care. It's fine. I like it. I think it'll look good once it's in the night side. And why don't we just do the same thing down here? Oh, I'm also noticing there are some struts that were left over from that other. I'm going to keep those. We can take those off and stow them in our hitchhiker can. Waste not, want not. Now I think, hang on, let's go back up here. No, I don't think I can use symmetry groups. You know what? I think I threw all of these as well in the container on this side without putting anything in the container on this side. Oh no, the lights are in that one. Okay, no, it's all good. How many engines does Waterfall affect? I have real plume and was wondering whether or not to make the jump. Waterfall, I'm not sure exactly. Right now I'm just working with stock engines, and I know Waterfall works with all the stock engines, including the DLC engines. And it also works with the engines that come with restock. I guess Waterfall is also on, now that I'm thinking about it, it's also on RP1, so it works for all of those engines, all the Realism Overall engines. So I guess that's quite a collection of engines that it does work on. I don't like where that went. Maybe here? Oh, no, no, no! We just hit the station. So that sounds to me like a lot of engines that it does work on. I said I wasn't going to do all these lights, but now I can't stop. I'm out of control. You know what I should have brought up? Next time, you bring up a little ladder bit. Oh wait, I can hang on here. You know those little tiny pieces of ladder? You get a Kerbal to attach one of those anywhere you want, and then you have the ability to just hang on somewhere rather than floating all around. Okay, that's good. Maybe I can do that just from here. I think they got long arms. Kerbals have long arms. Oh yeah. Alright, we're good. No more laughing about. We put some lights on. You're aboard. We'll straighten our station out a little bit. Okay, and with that done, let's get ourselves back down to the Space Center. We'll take a quick look at contracts. Yeah, I probably should put some blinky lights on. This is just the beginning of the station. We'll expand. Oh, we have fog. We have fog. Now build a new orbital station around Kerbin. I got another one. This is the same thing. Build a new orbital station around Kerbin. Have facilities supporting at least 5 Kerbal. It's exactly the same. And then it... Again... Build a new surface outpost on Eve. Yeah, sure, no problem. 5,000 units of electric charge. The only batteries I have, the biggest battery is 200 units of electric charge. Oh, KSP, what are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? You know what I'm going to do, too. Oh, it's stranded in high orbit somewhere. Okay, we got that. Rescue Sally from orbit. Sally is in low orbit. I'm going to accept this one because I can probably take the orbiter that I have on the station right now and just go get her. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm also going to accept this new orbital station. And what I'll do is I'll build a module that meets these criteria. And I'll just dock it. And I'm just using it as an excuse to expand on that station. That's it. So we'll do that one too. But what I really want to do is build me some relays. So we're going to go into here. And we're going to build some relays, and we're going to see if we can build ourselves a little relay network around Kerbin. So the only probe body other than the Sputnik I have is this. Now there's no contracts for this, but that's okay. Or not, yeah, as the Octo, that's the only one I got. And the antennas I should have. If I don't, then this ends pretty quick. Yes, I do have the HG5 antenna. I'm going to put on 2 of these. And probably I'm getting the suggestion to put these in geosynchronous orbit. The problem is they will have a tough time communicating with each other in geostationary orbit because they are going to be too far apart. These antennas aren't that great. You want to keep the antennas relatively close by. So I'm actually going to put them into about 1,000-kilometer orbit. And before this stream, I went through and I did a little bit of calculating, got out my spreadsheet, and found out that an orbit about Kerbin of 1,067.6 kilometers of circular orbit has a period of exactly 120 minutes, which is nicely divisible by 3. And then I'm going to put up 3 satellites that are all, let me get this right, 40 minutes apart from each other. That's why I wanted to pick something that's divisible by 3. I also worked out a phasing orbit. You'll see how all this works for those people that have never done this kind of stuff before. And that orbit should be 277 kilometers by 1,067.6 kilometers. That will have a period of 80 minutes, which is exactly 2/3 of the final target orbit. And this will allow me to drop satellites every third of an orbit. It'll work out really well. If you don't know what I'm doing, you'll see it probably soon enough. But the short of it is I need a satellite that has about 250 meters per second of delta V. So I'm gonna just put, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Let's just do this and see how I do. And I'll put this on here. Maybe then I can put this on here. No, only 2 of them. There, that's it. So, all right, like so. And I'm really, because I don't have any small tanks. So to build something this small that has that only 250 meters per second of DV, I'm going to probably use monoprop. So I'm going to just use this. Now, this did not snap to the center. So a trick is to get the move tool, make sure your snap is on, and then just move it. Come on, move. You want to move. Okay, maybe try again. Maybe it needs to be a little closer to the center to get this to work. Did this. Just click on here. Oh, wait, I gotta have these snap on. You can do it. Why is it, or maybe move it down? It's not. Okay. I swear that should just go right to the center, and now it's not. I am so confused. Okay, we'll have to do this with our eyeballs. I've done this in the past, and it's like exactly centered it when I do this. And now it's not. Because you obviously want this pretty centered. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I'm doing something wrong, is I'm going to get, I have the linear 1 and the linear 7. Let's start with, oh, I have to spend, I got a feeling it'll be the bigger linear 7 one. I'm going to stick that on the bottom. And let's try that centering trick. Snap on. I am so confused why that doesn't work anymore. I swear it worked before. I have a video where I did it. Okay, fine. Be that way. See if I care. We'll just do it with the textures. Now, unfortunately, here, and then what we're also going to do is get into the actuation toggles. Yaw, pitch, roll, port, and starboard. Don't care. Only care about going forward. And aft actually really only care about going forward. And then forward's going to be attached to the throttle so that I can throttle this engine using the shift key. Okay, and then I'm going to turn on RCS Build Aid. That's obviously a mod, and we're going to put this on, I guess, translation forward. Just gotta say it. Forward. There we go. And now I can see that I have 525 meters per second of delta V and a thrust of 2 kilonewtons on a mass of, well, let's actually reduce this first. So I only need, like I said, about 250. 277 should do it. Maybe go a little more just to be on, no, 277, I'm gonna keep it there. Okay, and 2 kilonewtons of thrust on 360-ton vessel. That is, oh my gosh. I want to get a thrust to weight ratio. That's 2,000 kilonewtons divided by about, oh, it's going to be under, it's under 1, but it should be okay. It should be fine. I definitely needed a bigger one. All right, and here I do see I have a little bit of torque. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use this, see if I can get that torque down to 0. Though to be honest, the reaction wheels in the probe body I'm sure would be fine. Whoops, snap off. The other one. I'm fiddling too much with it. It's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. All right. So that is one of my satellites. Turn RCS Build Aid off. That should do it. I need 3 of these. Now what I wouldn't mind doing, do I want to color this or just leave it the way it is? I got the it's all shiny. Can I make this all as shiny? Yeah, looks a little better when they're shiny, doesn't it? Shiny battery? That's all I'm going to do. Just make it shiny. This guy, I think there's a one where that doesn't have the... Oh, no, no, that's on restock. All right, we're done. So this is a Kerbin Com Sat. That's it. Lights! Lights! Everybody always lights! What about lights? Okay, fine, lights. Now I gotta check the DV again, make sure I didn't up it too much. We'll put some blinky lights for them. Like that. We will tint them towards sort of amber a little bit. And put the blink on. And we're just going to take them and kind of slide them in a little bit. Just like that. There we go. There's your lights. Okay. What did that do to my DV, by the way? DV is still 274, so I'm sure it's fine. It's fine. Okay. So what I want to do, I'm going to put this into an action group because I'm going to need to... Now, do I have the TD-06? I only have the stack separator. Okay, so I only have the stack, so it's going to leave debris behind, which is going to get very annoying very fast. Going to make that into the... And then I'm going to grab this. That should be the whole thing, including the motor. Yep, and we're going to put that in an action group. This is the ComSat. Save that. No new. Okay. Then we're going to get... Let's start with... What is this? Ooh, that looks weird. Something weird happened there. Start with one of these. Open it up. Put a probe body inside there. Make that the root part. Put a fairing on top of that. Turn on the interstage nodes. And hopefully... Oh, and a... stack separator right there, and then we go in here, and hopefully we can stack. Oh, I can already see this is going to be problematic. Okay. You know what? I might just put them lower anyway. Like so. Yeah, I'm gonna have a little trouble stacking these. They're a little bit, I guess that's okay. They're a little packed in there, but I think it'll work. Oh, wait, that is pretty tight. That is really tight. Ah! I gotta wiggle them out from in there. Oh, wait. No, I will have to wiggle them out from in there. I just don't like that the antennas are clipping. Okay, that'll probably be better. It's just the antennas are... I'm just gonna have to live with it. Oh, well, thank you very much, NC Davis. Should that be a Kerb ComSat? I'm not sure what a Kerb... Oh, Kerb... I don't know. What did I call it? I can't remember anymore. We'll rename it if I need to rename it. Okay, we need. Should be plenty of... Yeah, we need a battery. The Moon Relay Sats have a very good connection. Yes, that's sorry. I'm going back a bit in the chat. Nahal is saying, didn't you use the Moon Relay Sats and they had a good connection? Yes, the Moon Relay Sats have 2 of these HG5s on them, and they have a good connection with Kerbin, with the Deep Space Network, and they have an okay connection with each other, a good connection with each other. But if you start putting them too far apart, right, that's the key. It's not so much how far they are from Kerbin, it's how far they are from each other. That's the thing that's easy to forget about. So if I put these into a geostationary orbit, they are too far apart from each other to have a strong signal. They'll be fine communicating with Kerbin. It's communicating with each other that I'm concerned with. I hope that makes some sense. Okay, we're gonna stick in some dishes here. Or some, sorry, satellite or solar panels. Don't really need them because I think there's going to be so many just on the... There's obviously a lot on the satellites themselves, but I plan on deorbiting this thing. Some issues here. There we go. I do plan on deorbiting this little tug, the tug craft, the transport craft that's going to bring them out there. Okay, and I do want to put on a single Communitron 16 antenna. So, and like so. Tuck it in here. There, that works. Okay. Alright, so, that's kind of the basic deal. I'm hoping, so this is going to be, what was it? Kerb ComSats. There we go, that's what we're going to call it. Alright, this needs to have now a vehicle. I worked out the DV requirements for this to do what it needs to do, and it is about 550 meters per second, but I did not factor in being able to deorbit it. And that's probably about another 120, so that's 670. Oh, let's call it about 700 meters per second. So if I can get this to about 700 meters per second, I think I'll be good. I don't think that should be too much. And a Terrier under that? Oh my goodness. Okay, what about, where are all these decouplers? Sorry, this isn't right. This goes here. This goes here. All these decouplers will be done at the end. So put them all together. There we go. That makes more sense. Plus about, okay, so 7, what'd I say? About 700? Plus about another 1,000? This is already a lot. More than I need. That was just this small can, right? Yep. Yeah, too much is not a big deal, is it? Like, and it's got a huge thrust to weight ratio. This is going to be fine, just like that. I don't think I need anything else. No, I'm just going to go with it. So let's build the fairing. Should be able to just go straight up. Like so. Clamshell deploy. 2 pieces, sure, but again, up the ejection force. Okay. Close that. Now a little lifter. So... I'm doing mental math. It's always painful. If I can get the whole thing up to about 44, like 4.4 kilometers per second, I don't know. I'm pulling. We'll see how it goes. If you're sitting there going, where is he getting these numbers from? Oh, I got longer fuel tanks now. You know, don't worry about it too much. 4.4 kilometers per second. We'll put a swivel under this. This should be plenty. Okay, why is that like that? This game does not like the way this is staged. There we go. A little more. A little more. A little bit bigger. And just to make me feel a little better, I am going to stick some big reaction wheels in there. That goes there. There is plenty of thrust in this little motor here. There we go. 1.35 launch TWR. I'm looking at the time. I kind of want to get this show on the roads, so I won't get into the whole coloring of all this. I'm thinking, though, I'm there. Okay, let's a couple of action groups. Again, put the fairing on the gear action group. Oh. What deploys the antennas? Oh no, they aren't on the gear. Okay, that's fine. I didn't want all the antennas to come on with that. And then we'll also put on the light action group this guy, as well as the little communitron that should be tucked in here somewhere. There it is. Otherwise, I'm thinking of just doing it just right now. The octo-core doesn't have prograde retrograde lock. That is absolutely true. For that, you need the... Did I say otherwise? Sorry, Oliver, did I say that it has... It does not have prograde retrograde lock. If I said that it did, then I definitely am mistaken. But I don't have a hex core yet, so I gotta work with what I got. I think I'm just gonna launch and go. I looked into the contracts just before going into this, Rob, and there were no contracts requiring satellites. So I'm gonna do this contract free. No, I don't have the hex core unlocked. I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm not going back now. Look at, we're launching in the... I love launching in the fog because we're gonna get up above the clouds on this, and then it's gonna be a nice sunny day. Nice sunny day. What's this contract complete? Oh, that's my station. Alright, so I think I'm ready to just punch it. I do not think I have the hex core yet. I'm pretty sure. I hope so. Now you got me in doubt, Oliver, but Alright, this thing is off, and we are going for an orbit of 1,000, or an apoapsis. Let's just go into an 80-kilometer parking orbit. Let's not get fancy. We're going for an 80-kilometer parking orbit. Get this started. Oh, yeah, why is... Oh, wait, oh my god, pitch over. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, oh. Why was I going straight up for so long? I was looking for this number to get to 55 seconds, this time to apoapsis, but it was this I was usually wait to get to 55 meters per second, and then I pitch over. Oh my god. Oh my god, that is a complete brain cramp there. Just what number? This is the speed number, and that's time. Why do I need to pay attention to this? Okay, here we go. We're kind of over okay now. Wow. It's all good. I think this thing is overbuilt. I certainly hope it is. Okay, we can reduce throttle. And we're going to have to stage in a moment. That's okay. Onto the Terrier. Yeah, it was a complete brain cramp. Oh, something I should mention. I'm just thinking about it now, and I meant to mention this at the beginning of the stream. But as I'm sure most people are aware who celebrate these holidays, we do have Christmas coming up in just over a week. So we're coming into the holiday season, and what I'm going to do is I am going to take off the next couple of weeks. So no streams next week. I am going to stream on Thursday, but next week no streams. And the week after that, no streams, because actually the next Tuesday after that would be New Year's Eve. So I am going to take a couple weeks off, but we will be streaming again in the new year. And I hope everybody has themselves a very happy holiday season. So I'm trying to recover from a rather sloppy launch, but I think I'm okay. I don't know. Now I'm looking at the DV here. What the... oh my gosh. Kerbal engineers lied to me. I knew this thing felt small. I don't have the DV for this. There's no way. No way. This thing's already almost out of fuel. I do this every frickin' time I do a complicated build with all the extra staging involved. Okay. We are boarding. We are aborting, and we're just going to crash in the water. Yeah, I have nowhere near the fuel. Oh my gosh. So this is just going to crash. I do this every time live because Kerbal Engineer gets confused with all the extra staging events, and it thinks that these are gone. Oh. I know what it... when I get back in the VAB, I'll explain how Kerbal and how to fix it. But I do this every time. Land it so that the relays work from the ground. I have 144 meters per second left. I do not think this thing's going to land. Oh, well. I thought this thing especially just felt small. I looked at it and went, I think it was counting the DV as if all these satellites weren't here, as if we staged them all. So there's no way to land, of course. Well, my DV's going down because the inefficiency of this engine. And suicide burn! Hey! I think the top one actually survived. I believe it did. See? Okay. Let's recover. All right. Let's rethink this whole catastrophe. Oh, it's still foggy. Whoops. Get back into here. Think it might have survived if it had the fairing? Eh, maybe. Okay, so what we're going to do... Let's take... I'm going to just throw this away because that's clearly useless. Let's delete the fairing. So this DV calculation is assuming all these satellites aren't here. It always seems to get confused by that. Notice that actually stock is giving me a more sensible number of 330. Well, actually, no. Let's put this on vacuum. 1340. That seems probably about right. So I remember what I could do. I think if you just disable the staging on the decoupler. Yes, see, if we disable the staging on these decouplers, notice how this is correcting. Kerbal Engineer is one of the rare situations in which Kerbal Engineer gets confused, but the game gets it right. So now Kerbal Engineer and the game are agreeing on 1,340 meters per second. And I was thinking more in the 17, 18 range. So we're going to throw this off. And we're going to have to go bigger. Again, Terrier is going to be our choice. So what did I say? 1800 meters per second. Now it's saying 22. They both agree. You know what? Let's just overbuild. Why not? Overbuild this. Let's build the fairing back. There we go. And the fairing will be deployed after that engine is ignited. So this way around. The fairing's on an action group, so I don't even need to have it in the staging diagram, so we can take that off. Beautiful. Okay. And so then I was thinking 7, 8, 30, 44. That number's right now. Okay. So it's got to be a little bigger. TD-12 decoupler. Big fuel can. Swivel engine. I think the swivel should still be fine for this. Yeah, and I'm thinking about 44, so let's put another can in there. Just you, though. Nope, bigger. 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 Sure, 4,500 meters per second. Do I have enough thrust for launch? Ew, not really. Not really. What if I replace this with a Reliant? .4, 1.67. Yeah, that'll do it. So I'm definitely going to put in... I'm going to flip this tank upside down. I don't know why. I thought it would look better. Definitely put in some reaction wheels to help with attitude control. Some fins. Because now I don't have the gimbaling because I have the Reliant engine, but the Reliant engine is lighter with a little bit more thrust. These two should go together. And we will try this again. Put the thrust off of there. Okay. Now, people were talking about, yeah, that I have the hex unlocked. I don't think I do. I don't know why I was looking at my Kerbals there. So you have the Octo. That's the Mark 1 lander can. Maybe that's what people were thinking was the hex. So I don't have the hex unlocked. So that is my best probe body. Oh, I can ditch the main probe if I use the top one for my main probe. That's true. You can actually use, instead of having a carrier that you ditch, which is what I'm doing, you can save a lot of weight by basically making the carrier the third satellite. But I'm gonna go with what I'm doing. I like all these to look the same, even though probably once I've deployed them, I'll never look at them again. But that's me. Okay, I think I'm good now. So a little bit of a fix, a little bit of a bigger rocket. Let's try this again. Ah, you thought the lander? Yeah, it looks like the hex. Okay, we're going to try this again. Try this again. Again, foggy day. Fog has not cleared. Hopefully everything is good. This time I'll pitch over and start pitching over at an appropriate time. This thing's only about 1,700, 1,800 curb bucks, or 18,000 curb bucks. So it's not like it's a big deal. You know, I'm starting to feel a lot more comfortable about money. Earlier on in this series, I was so tight for funds. Come out of the fog. I love that. I'm so happy that with Kitten Space Agency that BlackRock is a big part of doing the atmospherics on that development team for Kitten Space Agency. So we're hoping to see a lot more glorious stuff like this. Who knows, maybe even more. Whoops, let's just following that prograde vector up. I should use the Reliant engine more than I do. As long as you put on some reaction wheels for the attitude control to make up for the lack of gimbaling, the Reliant engine is great. But I have a tendency to just default to the swivel. So a lot more fuel in this upper stage now. That should help us out. Speaking of which, we're just about to stage here. You know, the one thing that turd mod, that Ultimate Texture mod, or whatever it's called, there's something, if you don't, I don't know, the fairings get messed up. It seems to really struggle with the fairings. Not sure what that is. Okay, speaking of which, there they go. Yeah, the only thing that I worry about with Kitten Space Agency, it's not that development team, because they seem to be amazing. It's the, you know, the financial piece of it, which I obviously know zero about, but that all holds together for them. All right, I'm feeling a lot better. 1,200 meters per second or so left, and we're very close to making our orbit. And looking at the time, because of that debacle with the first launch of this, I'm a little worried I'm not going to get this all done before this stream is done, but hopefully we'll get a start on it. Okay, just about at 80 kilometers, and cut on our apoapsis there. Okay, put the light Lights on. Did that in the antenna? Yep. Blinky lights. Now here, this is what this is all about. I've lost communication. See that? So I'm still suborbital, so I definitely want to get communication before in a few minutes would be nice. You know, I should probably just launch up steeper to avoid this situation. It's hard to get away from a launch profile you're just used to doing at a default. Yeah, I still have no signal, About a minute from apoapsis, and then we're going to be going down. Another signal would be good. Okay, we are 10 seconds from apoapsis. Still no signal, no probe control. We are now going back down again. Hopefully, we shall acquire a signal momentarily. Come on. There it is. Okay. Let's start this up. It's not much of a burn here. Bring down that apoapsis a little bit. Bring up the periapsis. Good enough. Good enough. Okay. Oh, I guess all I gotta do, why don't I point prograde and keep going while I'm thinking about this and just get that apoapsis up to, what is it, 1,067.6 kilometers. There's no reason to stop. Keep going. Oh, I hate not having locked the prograde. I think I mentioned that. Say 1,067, I think I said. Okay, what did I say? I wrote it down. 1,067.6. Why is that hard? Oh, no, that's... Yes. Sorry, I'm just getting confused with the numbers. What else is new? So 1,000, because it's in megameters, so I have to do a quick conversion in my head. Which really shouldn't be hard. I mean, you're just moving the decimal place around, but it threw me for a moment. 1,067. Let's turn down this throttle limiter. There we go. Ooh, right down the money there. Put that back up. Okay, I'll just orient this. Hopefully we'll get some... Take a guess at where the sun is. It's kind of that way somewhere, I think. Whoops. Back here. And then up here, what we want, basically, I said to get the periapsis to 277.7, but really, this is not so much about that as it is about getting that orbital period to 1 hour and 20 minutes, which is 80 minutes, obviously. That's the, and it should be around 277. Oops, that's a little bit too much. So I'm looking at this orbital period here. Oh, there it is. 1 hour and 20 minutes exactly. 277.97 kilometers. I wonder if I can... Might not be quite on Apo there. Darn close enough. And hopefully we'll have a signal there, but if we don't, we can just ride around until we do, right? Because now that we have a stable orbit, there's no urgency. Okay, let's see where our signal is. Or let's looking for the sun, sorry. Ah, we should be good enough. Put this on orbit. Okay, I'm just going to stop a little early. It's only a 4-second burn, so I'm going to reduce this throttle. Make the burn shorter. More like 10 seconds would be good. Okay, let's get up there. Then after this burn, this vehicle's job is going to be done. And then it's up to each of those individual little satellites. Okay. And again, I'm going to start 10 seconds early and then just go to half throttle. And go. Again, what I'm really looking at is the orbital period. That's what's important. I want 1 hour and 20 minutes. And 9 and 20. There we go. And if I put a Kerbal Engineer chip onto this thing, I could have actually got that down to the 10th of a second, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, so this is done. That, and where is the sun? Okay, we'll just tilt these a little that way. Okay, so now I'm gonna come around to Appalachia again, and then we'll drop our first satellite. So we'll just kind of do a warp to here type of deal. Come around. Okay, and we are 3 minutes from Appalachia. That should be good. And we will extend that antenna. Extend that antenna. And decouple that. There we go. Oh, come back, come back, come back, come back, come back. Okay, and put you onto the prograde vector. Ooh, you are shiny. I maybe should make a maneuver. Let's make a maneuver. Whoops. A little bit too much. Now I want the period to be exactly 2 hours. That's pretty darn good. Unfortunately, I think this is completely lying to me as far as burn time and stuff like that. It has no idea. Like you can see here, it says 0 delta V. But at least gives me some idea. I don't know. I'll have to just guesstimate it. As long as I get the period to be as close as I can to 2 hours, everything is fine. wonder where it's coming up with this burn time calculation. Like, based on what? Maybe based on the vessel I just left? That could be. So, if RCS Build Aid was not lying to me, I should have the delta V. Remember I said it should be about 250 meters per second, which is pretty darn close to what it is. So, my budgeting feels comfortable. No, I should just... Okay, you got to put on RCS in order for the throttle to work. And... Oh, let's just punch it and see what happens. Yeah. Well, that looks great. Doesn't that look great? That looks just awesome. Could have started a little earlier because we're getting out to time 0 and we're not at halfway to the burn, but I'm sure it'll be fine. That just looks so good. And you know, if I had like the little ant engines and those little Oscar B fuel cans and stuff, I might have considered using them, but right now this is definitely my best option for a tiny craft. Okay, and again, don't need this, but I'm just going to turn down this throttle limiter. And 2 hours is what I'm shooting for. Perfect. There we go. So there is satellite number 1. I think I'm going to put all of them up. All ready to go. How much monopropellant is left? Remember, I started at half. Yeah, I think I got this budgeted out pretty good. All right, that's number 1. Back to the other guy. Let's turn this on. You should be able to see it here. Right? Where's my other one? Why can't I see it? Is it marked as... No? Oh, relay? Ah, there. It's marked as another relay. That's why. So we'll switch to you. Oh, what I should do, too, before we get any further, sorry, is we should rename this KerbComSat 1. Okay, now back to here. Switch to. Okay, so there is this one. Now, I do want to check its orbit, because sometimes in the decoupling, this time can get messed up. It did not. I really should have turned the decoupler force down on these decouplers. I can't do it now, but oh well. All right, so next, and for those people, this is where, if you've never seen this trick before, you can really see how this is going to work. So this orbit is 2/3 the period of the big orbit. So as we go around... This one's going to get around faster, but by the time it gets back to here, this one will be 1/3 of an orbit behind. That's the whole trick. At least in theory. And hopefully this will end my little communication problems that I keep having around Kerbin. Stop here? Yeah, it's about 1/3 in orbit. I think so. You know how you can tell for sure is if you set this as a target and you go down here to the approach tab, the phase angle should be either positive or negative 120 degrees. 120 degrees, of course, being exactly 1/3 of a circle. We'll see if it is. Oh, look it, we're really close to that debris that we had up here before. See that stupid decoupler? Oh, that's annoying. Okay, let's get this ready. Extend that antenna. Extend that antenna. Yeah, we're only 3 minutes from Appalachia. That is right. Decouple. Okay, and you again on prograde, the other way. I'm gonna end up deleting these guys will drive me crazy, this debris up here. I'm gonna end up deleting that at some point in the future. Again, you know what? I don't think I need a maneuver node. I started to burn about 12 seconds or 10 seconds before Appalachia. I might start maybe 13 seconds this time before Appalachia. Let's just try that without using a maneuver. Let's see if we can do it that way. Oh shoot, and now I'm paying no attention. Wasn't paying attention to the time and started to burn late because I'm not very bright. Should be fine. I just like the look of this. I'm going to use monoprop engines more often just so I can see more of that. That looks so good. And cut. And cut again. And reduce the throttle. The limiter there. And there we go. That's... Oh, I went too far. It's 2 hours and 1 second, so we'll just have to go retrograde a little bit. Not a problem. There we go. And this is relay number 2. No, I just turned it to a station. 2. You are a relay, silly. Okay, and let's get back to here. Again, let's see how we did with our phase angle. So if this is, set that as a target. Put that on there. 119.8 degrees. Supposed to be 120. I can most certainly live with that. Okay, switch to here. There we go. I don't. Yeah, it's being told that it's a shame there isn't any inline monopropellant engines, and I agree. Well, there are. Well, there's the puff, whatever it's called. I think it is called the puff engine, but it is a radial engine. I just don't think they clearly didn't. And I don't know. Maybe they anticipated. Well, they gave you the ability to lock RCS to the throttle, so obviously they were thinking that some people might be doing this. Okay. Last satellite. So let's get around again. Let's unset that target. Center on here just so we can see it. And oh, there's still a relay on the ground there somewhere. And we'll time warp around to here. And we should end up exactly halfway between these two. Looks good to me. And we should be, if I put on more links, we should be starting to... Yeah, see how these are not even kind of a yellowy color? This is why I didn't want to go to a higher orbit, because I knew that this signal would not be super strong. Okay. Closer. I can see another decouple. Two decouple. Look at the two decouple. You can tell how we're coming very close to the same. These aren't getting very far away. It's sort of funny. The upside of using the separators instead of the decouplers is that the platforms disappear when there's nothing attached to them. So it won't, you know, there's nothing above this for it to crash into. Okay, let's decouple that. Go. And we'll try and do a little bit of a better job this time. Why don't I rename this now while I'm thinking about it? Rename. Relay number 3. Accept. On prograde, RCS on, and this time I'll try and not punch it late. Though I think it's hardly impacted anything. Said 13 seconds, right? There we go. I'm still ignoring, I'm still enjoying this. I'm so glad I did this just so I can see this. There's a whole train of debris behind us, though we're going to deorbit that guy. We'll deorbit that guy. And if you want to really make it so that these satellites will never ever drift on you, here, I'm going to just cut. Let's finish this off and I'll tell you the cheaty trick to make it so that these will never ever drift again. There we go, 2 hours. The trick so that these will never ever drift again is simply get into the persistence save file, find these 3 satellites, and change the semi-major axis so that they are all exactly the same to, like, you know, they have something like 12 digits there. Just make them all exactly the same, and then they'll all have exactly the same period, and they will never ever drift on each other. Okay, so that's done. So let's get to you here. Set as that target, or no, switch to it, and the only thing that's left is to deorbit this thing. Any tips for service seismometer missions? Are we talking that deployable thing? Is that the one you have to crash stuff in order to get the science from? I'm trying to remember. I've done it with mods and not with mods, and sometimes I get confused. Here, let me deorbit this guy. So I'm not sure I can really help. If it's the one where you have to crash something in order to collect the science, crash nearby, I think? I don't know. Crash something massive and something fast. I know speed and I don't know. I'm rambling. No, I have no tips. I can remember doing it and struggling with it at times myself, but I couldn't remember whether I was struggling because I put a mod on it or what. Do I have this thrust limiter way down? I do. There we go. All right, so this thing is ready to head towards its demise. But I do have, if we center this on Kerbin and put on all of that, we do have now a nice little relay network around Kerbin. And that should mean that I shouldn't have any more outages when I put myself in orbit with an uncrewed vessel. And that is going to, I think, end this stream. So remember that I do not have a stream next week, so it will be in the new year that we'll be seeing each other again. But in the meantime, thanks everybody in the chat, thanks everybody watching this at a later date, and of course, and as always, an extra special thank you to my Patreon patrons and YouTube members who continue to support this channel directly. Have yourself a fantastic holiday season, and we'll see you all in the new year. Bye, everybody.